Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do something a little bit different. Chess has always been something that I thought was really cool, and it's blowing up lately. And to be honest, when you've played as much Yu-Gi-Oh as I have, you kind of start looking to other games for some entertainment here. So I want to bring you this chess video today. If you're interested in more chess content, go ahead and say something in the comments because I'm really enjoying the game and I think it's pretty neat. Originally the idea was to go ahead into rated just like we do with Yu-Gi-Oh and play some games and see how I do there. But I don't know. I have this thing where I can either take it too seriously or not seriously at all. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the very first game that I played here. Let's just go through it here. Yeah, anyway, so I decided to go ahead and play against these bots on chess.com. I'll go ahead and cut to the actual footage, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a voiceover because the intention was to go ahead and record like a regular dueling book video, but I ended up taking it a little bit more serious than I thought I would be. So, here you go, enjoy. Alright, let's try playing against the computer. Alright. Alright. Adaptive, beginner, intermediate, advanced, master, streamers, personalities. Oh, this is cool. Wait, what? Oh, this is cool. Oh man, I'm such a... I don't know any of these people. This is a streaming superstar, professional Overwatch. They have Mr. Beast on here? Pokimane, I know Pokimane. Nico. And I don't even have TikTok. Says chess streamer. And the loudest person on Twitch? Is that a thing? Alright. How do I play against the loudest person on Twitch? Choose. Friendly. No help of any kind. I don't want any help. All the tools available? Wait, what tools can I have? 3 takebacks and 3 hints. Custom. No. Okay. No help of any kind. I don't really want help. I think it'd be funny getting smacked by the loudest person on Twitch. That'd be great. Play as... I'm assuming this is just random. Warner Brother. Alrighty, so here is where the kind of commentary is going to start. As far as playing chess, I try to play everything, and in this particular matchup I was kind of playing a Catalan setup. It started kind of like a BOGO, but I'm playing G3, so I'm pretty much playing the Catalan. I kind of am addicted to this fianchetto, the kingside bishop type of thing. As black, I find myself playing a lot of King's Indian positions, and I don't know, that bishop can put in a whole lot of work. So I don't know, I'm not an expert whatsoever when it comes to chess. I am pretty bad. So I'm going to be hovering over a whole lot of moves that just aren't that good, so don't yell at me. Don't yell at me too much, okay? I'm just a simple Yu-Gi-Oh player. Alrighty, so I really wanted to develop this knight, and you'll see me trying to like push that E-pawn. Instead, I decided to go ahead and ask him what he wanted to do with his bishop over on B4, and we traded it off because I really kind of wanted to resolve that before anything else happened. Here, she gave me a free pawn, pretty much, so I don't really have much choice but to take it, you know? I'm going to go ahead and push. Go ahead, Anthony. Push the E-pawn. You could do it. Come on. Alright. Spoiler alert. I pushed that pawn so that I can bring my knight out via E2. This does not block the bishop on G2. And here, she asks if I would like to trade her knight for my bishop and I don't think that I should have. This bishop is really, really good on c3. But live, I decided I wanted to develop my knight anyway, and I was planning on bringing it through e2. And from e2, I think that the c3 spot is a really good place for it, because from c3 it can go to e4, which is an amazing outpost for the knight. So I ultimately let her trade my bishop. I don't think, if I was any better at the game, I don't think I would have done that. She plays queen to c4 here, and that prevents me from castling. So I'm in need of a game plan here. Looking at it, I can start attacking the king side, because the king side is pretty weak, and that's pretty much what I do. But I decided to go with h4 here. I think that I mean, I did the analysis, so I've seen what the computer wants me to do, which I'll show a clip of at the end of it. But personally, I think that something like a queen to c2 and a bishop to e4 type of thing might be just as good. She plays knight to e5 here, and I have basically no choice but to play bishop to e4, because that d3 square, if she gets a knight in there, that's like devastating. This move was odd, pawn to g6, because it basically helps me with my plan and really weakens the king side for her. It really helps me a lot with my plan. All right, so she plays queen to c5 here. It's kind of a weird looking move. I had to double check to make sure that it didn't, like, I didn't lose on the spot because of it. But what I think is pretty cool is that it puts a lot of pressure on e3. So if I decided that I ever wanted to push that f pawn, I can't, because she just takes on e3. And that's kind of what I realized right here. So I wanted to push that f pawn because I wanted to take that g6 pawn with my bishop. But her queen to c5 move prevents me from doing that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Here I spend a lot of time trying to look at how I can infiltrate on the king side, and I could not find anything. I really liked my queen on the d1 square because it can get through, but if you look, her knight, which is essentially on an outpost, is guarding the f3, the g4, and her pawn is guarding the h5 square, which are all ways for me to get into her position. So ultimately I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that at all. And of course, and like I said, I can't kick the knight away because I can't play f4. I can't play rook to f5 either to attack it, because again, that pawn is just really good. So how am I going to put pressure on the only thing in her position that's right in front of her king that I can put pressure on? Well, ultimately I decided to go with, hopefully I play it sometime in the near future here. All right, spoiler alert, I play queen to c2. I play queen to c2, kind of set up a backwards battery. Does that count as a battery? I'm gonna call it a battery. I'm setting up a battery on that g6 pawn. So just trying to put a whole lot of pressure on her king position, because with that g6 move, she really opened it up. I think ultimately that g6 move was just not that good. You want to be flexible with the pawns around your king side. I know if you look at my position right now, and I can't really talk about king safety, but you know what? It's safe enough. All right, queen back to c7. She is allowing her queen to get over to basically the 7th rank, where she knows I'm about to be infiltrating. However, this just drops that pawn on g6, and I'm here trying to calculate. Again, the thing about like kind of being bad at this game is that you never know if these moves that don't have a like very obvious plan just completely kill you out of the blue, especially when you're playing against a computer. So I decided to go for castles here. The issue is that, I mean, my king is directly out in the open, and I just wanted to get it safe. So I don't know, I think that I could have just, I know that I could have just taken the pawn here. So either way, I go for castle and she goes for queen to f7. But thing is, my e3 pawn is no longer being attacked, so how am I going to protect my f2 pawn? I can push it, and I got 2 pawns protecting it, so that's actually just fine. This also drives the knight out, and now I can just take that pawn. She decides to go with queen to g7, which just lets me take the knight, and this is free. Again, this is another one where I was like, am I just gonna randomly lose here? But no, it's just a free knight. Like, I can just take it. I'm still gonna sit here and try and calculate it out. Now, the cool part about my position right now is that my king is super safe, and the b2 and a3 pawns make they give me a lot of protection against whatever kind of counterplay that she can get against them with the rook and the queen. Now, my pawns over on her king side are almost blocking me from attacking her, right? So I think ultimately I could have just taken the pawn here, but I didn't want to take the pawn and then have her be able to check me on e3 by taking my pawn. So if you look, e3 and g3 are both hanging, and if I could just get rid of the g3 pawn, I'd have 2 rooks that I can aim right at her king. And so ultimately I decided to make a safe move with the king. I'm pretty sure there's like a P word for people who are actually good at chess. I'm sure you can comment that. I ultimately decided to put the king on b1, and basically hoping that she'll take the g3 pawn, because I can basically bring all of my pieces in at any moment that I want, and she does. She takes the g3 pawn, so now I can bring both of my rooks over, and if you take a look, like almost every single piece that I have is all aimed right at her king. I'm infiltrating on the h file with the rook. She takes the other pawn, which is honestly just fine because that allows me to just go ahead and take this with check. Ultimately, it is super over right now. My rook is protected by the bishop, so I can go ahead, bring that rook from h1 right down to h7 to deliver check. At this point, looking at the analysis at the end, I think it said I had like a checkmate in like 7 or something like that. Oh, and this is what I was talking about. I was hovering over this because I'm like, hey, it's a check. I should probably just play it. Well, probably shouldn't do that. That bishop needs an excuse to get into the game, and if I give it one, then I'm not doing my job correctly. So I went ahead and I was attempting to just find another way to go ahead and go about this. I was looking at kind of all the checks in the situation, and the very last check that I looked at happened to be the one that I should have played, which is queen to a4. Ultimately, I did play that, but I probably should have seen that a little sooner. So I'll go ahead and play queen to a4 here. Now, there aren't really many ways to block this, so she plays b5, and I just take it because it's essentially feels like a desperado move. I don't think that she should have done that. But she couldn't have played bishop to d7 because I just take it with the queen and it's checkmate. So queen to d7 is checkmate, and I'm looking at kind of the possibilities to get into d7 here with the queen. That bishop is blocking it, so you'll actually see me kind of take a look at bishop to b7. I'd really like to deflect that bishop away, and if I play bishop to b7 and she plays her bishop to d7, I could just take it with the queen and it's checkmate. So that's kind of what I was looking at here. Right at the very last second, I realized that if I played bishop to b7 here, she could just play rook to b8, and it's pinning my bishop to my queen. So like, there's not really anything that I can do. So it's one of the last things that I looked at. The other thing that I looked at was the first thing that I looked at was queen to a5, but I dismissed it because I thought that she could just play queen b6 and I'd have to trade and like all the tension would be resolved. That is the move that I should have played, but I completely dismissed it. It was actually the first thing that I looked at, but I saw queen to b6 and I didn't look any farther. But then I was looking at what you just saw me think about right here, which was queen to g5. This would fork the queen and the king, force a queen trade, and I'm up so much material. I figured that, like, you know, anybody can really win that end game versus almost anybody. Like, you're up so much material, and you're about to take that rook in the corner. But again, what I didn't like about that was that if I were to play queen to g5 check, queen takes on g5, my rook takes on g5, then I would give her the opportunity to move her rook to b8, and I wouldn't be able to take it with my bishop. So after I took this rook here, I didn't really see a good move for her. None of the checks mean anything because those pawns are really protecting me from her queen. So ultimately I went and I took the rook here because, well, it was free material. I feel like I'm in such a commanding position anyway. I could basically do anything here. Jeez. And after like 10 hours of thinking, I finally take the rook. Again, like I said, these checks don't mean anything. My every piece is, besides that knight, which is playing a critical role and basically defending my king, every piece is surrounding her king. There is nothing that she can do, and ultimately she takes my knight out of desperation here. I think personally that a knight for a queen is a good trade, and her check on f2 that is about to come after just doesn't do anything. I just play king to b3, and that's like the best she's got, right? So if she doesn't even have something, like if she had her rook on the back on the first file, she could have played rook to b1 and then skewered my king to my queen, but she couldn't. All right, brings the rook back. I basically have checkmate in 2. There's a million different ways to go ahead and finish this up here, and ultimately I think I found the most efficient one. All right. Okay, hey, that works. All right, I've officially beaten the loudest Twitch streamer. Yay. Report. Holy crap. Holy crap, that's 95.7% accurate. That's insane. Okay, C takes here I guess was a mistake. Honestly, I felt like I really wanted to get the queen, or get the queen out of there, or like push, or something. Am I even protecting that pawn? If I play here, queen, oh, queen just takes. He gets the center. Probably just something like this. Knight f3 is a mistake. Alright. Was it that? Then what's the best move? Oh, I'm dumb. Alright. Yeah, that was just a free pawn. This is the only game plan I can think of, or I could think of at the time. So what does it want me to do then? I can't castle. I was thinking like I needed to try and like get my king to a safer position. So I mean, get that queen out of there. So maybe something like that. So that when I move this knight, like knight here, it's attacking. Okay, I guess that's a mistake. Okay. Jesus. I was honestly thinking like I could just bring my king over. I want this so badly to be the best move. Come on. Yeah, okay, it's a blunder. I didn't see any other plan besides like start attacking his king. What does it want me to do? Don't tell me it's this one. Does it want me to trade off the queens? I guess his queen's all up in my grill, but like I didn't really care. Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, I guess what am I up to? It wants me to castle, I guess, and argue that my pieces are slightly better than his, but I mean this knight's coming here, so what? I'm going here to defend it. Is it slow? Takes knight here. Here. Alright. Yep, I figured that was pretty obvious. Because look at this. yeah, see, this is... Okay, so here I really wanted to play this, trade the queens, and then... But the thing is, like, after that, right? Like, this bishop taking this, I don't know, that seemed really nice. It probably wants me to play this. Force the queen trade. Missed win. Okay, yeah, I figured. I thought this was cool. Try and distract the bishop. Accuracy. Oh, sorry, mate in 5 instead of mate in 6. I figured this probably was something, but I don't know. Yeah. Then what was it? This is the only other check in the position, but I don't think that, because he just plays queen to b6 and asks what I'm doing with my life. I don't know. Oh, queen b6, queen g5. Oh, the computer probably wants this, but I bet you that's